Many people believe that the coronavirus, COVID-19, was a hoax, was not real, and was an absolute lie. Well, today, Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, is coming out with a statement regarding all of these details and how there was a massive cover-up on her final day in the position. We are about to see if all of your thoughts, your ideas of COVID being a fluke, a cover-up, or just straight out lies are actually true, because she's giving us the details from her desk. There's also been a press release that was dropped as well, which I'll be linking in the description of this video in case you want to go check it out and read it for yourself. Now let's tune in and listen to exactly what she has to say.
Before the COVID pandemic, Dr. Fauci, as head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, work which is now widely viewed as the source of the unintentional lab leak that sparked the pandemic. Now, in support of President Trump's maximum transparency mandate, today, on my final day as Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never-before-seen communications and documents that expose exactly how Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origins, and his role in directing U.S. funding for this dangerous research that caused immeasurable harm and countless lost lives.
All right, so she's already claiming right here that there has been foul play and that the truth that many people believed was this virus that came from a bat that got so many people sick and so many people died from is actually not the truth at all.
Now, these documents expose Fauci's direct role in influencing and manipulating IC assessments on COVID-19 and how Fauci lied to Congress in 2024 when under oath, he denied knowledge of or participation in discussions with intelligence officials about viral research. We also received testimony from multiple intelligence community whistleblowers who reported retaliation for challenging the intelligence community's manipulation of intelligence on the virus's origins. Once again, revealing a clear pattern of suppressing dissent, silencing critics, and burying the truth.
Now, the first thing that I think of right now is, as a parent, the vaccines that were given for the coronavirus. And I know we had people that were, yes, get the vaccine, wear the mask because we want to keep our family safe on one side. And on the other side, we had people saying, this isn't real, it's just whatever, don't wear a mask, don't get vaccinated. I'm actually curious on where you guys stand regarding that. You could let me know in the comments below. But it's leading me to believe that if the government was lying to us about what the virus actually was, what were we actually putting into our children and into ourselves that we thought was a vaccine?
Dr. Fauci's close relationships with the intelligence community enabled him to assume three key roles that shield him from scrutiny. First, Dr. Fauci funded dangerous gain-of-function coronavirus research linked to big pharma and their pursuit of universal vaccines worth trillions of dollars. Second, Dr. Fauci was the behind-the-scenes advisor who, alongside his hand-picked so-called experts, pushed the intelligence community to endorse a natural animal origin to hide his dangerous gain-of-function research that he funded using taxpayer dollars, all of this in a deliberate attempt to cover up the truth and shift the blame and attention away from Fauci's own actions. Third, Dr. Fauci became the nation's pandemic pundit, and he publicly pushed lies, disinformation, and censorship using every platform available. Now, according to hundreds of reviewed emails, which are included in this release, the intelligence community almost always incorporated Fauci's recommendations. He promoted a fraudulent paper whose publication he helped prompt as legitimate information for intelligence community consideration. Senior analysts praised Dr. Fauci not as a policymaker, but as what they called an unbiased guide to the real coronavirus experts, while deliberately ignoring experts who might dissent from Fauci's narratives. Now, Fauci didn't stop there. He blatantly lied to Congress under oath during his 2024 testimony to the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic, denying that he ever spoke to any intelligence agency about COVID. Now, the correspondence I'm releasing today directly contradicts his sworn testimony. Now, we received statements from multiple whistleblowers revealing that the intelligence analysts who dared to challenge Dr. Fauci's COVID origin conclusions faced threats of retaliation, marginalization, and many suffered career setbacks.
That's not surprising. I mean, we see that happen in all areas of government. If you go against the system, the man, the party, then you're going to struggle and suffer your own consequences based on your career and where you're trying to advance to. Essentially, that advancement is going to quickly halt.
For example, a contractor was terminated just days after coming forward to ODNI as a whistleblower. Another example, those who advocated for the lab leak hypothesis or expressed dissenting views were reminded by their managers that leadership would determine which analysts would be promoted and which would not. The message was clear: go along or be punished. Now, senior leaders also sought to undermine whistleblowers by removing anonymity, which is required in the whistleblower process, as they made their complaints, and also insisting that their managers or attorneys be present during ODNI meetings where these whistleblowers were coming forward with their testimony, obviously creating an atmosphere of intimidation. The COVID pandemic caused tremendous hardship and pain for millions of our fellow Americans and countless people around the world. Now, after years of lies and censorship and cover-ups, the American people deserve transparency, truth, and accountability. The tactics that were used to hide the truth are straight from the deep state playbook. Politicized, self-serving leaders like Dr. Fauci covered up their own wrongdoing and abuses of power, manipulated intelligence, lied to Congress, and undermined a duly elected president by restricting his access to the vital facts he needed to keep the country safe. It's time you know the truth.
I think what we should do right now is take a minute and read through this press release. What I'm going to do, and as I mentioned, I'll be linking it in the description so you could read this all yourself. I'm going to be giving you a summary of everything that is stated inside of this press release right now. And then if you want more than that summary, please feel free to click the link in the description. What I have for all of you right now on the screen is the summary that I'm about to read to you of what that entire press release says. Let's get into it. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, Dr. Anthony Fauci, as director of NIAID, oversaw funding that supported the coronavirus research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China. The document argues that the research contributed to a laboratory accident that led to the pandemic. It further alleges that Fauci worked closely with intelligence officials to shape government assessments of COVID-19's origins, promoting the theory that the virus emerged naturally rather than from a lab leak. According to the release, newly declassified communications show Fauci had greater involvement in intelligence discussions than he later acknowledged publicly. The report also claims Fauci misled Congress during the 2024 testimony when he denied knowledge or participation in discussions with U.S. intelligence agencies regarding viral research and COVID-19 origins. The released correspondence is presented as evidence that he had ongoing interactions with intelligence officials and influenced how intelligence assessments were developed. The document argues that Fauci relied on a network of scientists and experts connected to the NIAID funded research to reinforce the natural origin narrative while sidelining opposing viewpoints. Another major focus of the release is alleged retaliation against intelligence analysts and whistleblowers who supported the lab leak hypothesis. According to whistleblower testimony cited in the report, analysts who challenged officials' conclusions faced career pressure, marginalization, and threats to promotion opportunities. The report claims this created an environment where dissenting opinions were suppressed and evidence-supported alternative conclusions were not fully considered. Overall, the document argues that Fauci's intelligence community leaders, and associated scientific experts participated in a coordinated effort to influence both intelligence findings and public opinion regarding COVID-19 and its origins. It calls for greater transparency, accountability, and further investigation into pandemic-era decision-making. However, many of these allegations remain disputed, and questions surrounding the COVID-19 origins, they continue to be debated among scientists, intelligence agencies, and policy makers. So, with all of this now out in the open, COVID-19 does still seem to have been a pandemic that came and took over the United States and put us in our homes for extended amounts of time, took our children out of school, and took the lives of many people. But the origins of it seem to be greatly disputed. And those binders that we saw on the desk seem to have all of the information regarding the lies that very well may have influenced the decisions made on how to keep us, the citizens, safe. I'll tell you, the more and more that we hear about these types of things, the less and less we can really trust the people that are running this country and making decisions that are supposed to be keeping us safe. If you want to dive deeper into some different types of stories, I have a video right over here that you should check out. Remember, guys, I'll see you over there.